tell you a little bit about us. I definitely do. We are the founders of Given Wings, but I have an executive director that actually runs it. And so she would probably know all the acronyms, but I'm not always up on them. But this is how we started. Given Wings was never a thought in our mind. I was a forensic nurse. I love hearing that you're a pediatric nurse. I was a forensic nurse, which is for sexual assaults. Before that, I was a cardiac nurse. And one day, I came across a business, and a friend was posting about it on Facebook, and I thought, you know what, I need some of that anyway, so maybe I should call her, get some of that. And as we were talking, she said, you know what, you should do this as a little side business. Well, that side business retired my husband in 10 months, retired me in 12 months from nursing, and I've now done it for 5 years. And everything that you'll hear about today has been funded from that little side business I hoped to make an extra $500 from. So we are incredibly thankful. It's radically changed our life, and it's nothing short of the Lord, because we actually, you can see we have 4 kids. We have 2 biological and 2 adopted. Way before I ever came across that cute little side business that I thought was just going to be a cute little side business, my husband and I felt like we were called to give 33% of our income to our local church. And you would think, oh, that is so sweet. No, we had no extra money, and we had 4 kids that were hungry. Actually, we both separately came up with the amount of money that we felt like we were supposed to give, came together, realized we both had the same amount of money, and it was too much money to even consider. And so I cried and cried and cried. And my pastor came over and said, that was so sweet that you were so moved to give to the church and support this way. And I said, oh, no, I'm not. It wasn't sweet. I'm scared to death because I have no idea how we're going to do it. So then shortly thereafter is when we came across that business. And isn't that just like the Lord to say, you were being willing to be obedient, and now I'm going to provide the funds. So before that business, we have 4 kiddos. This little one right here, her name's Andy, and she has Williams syndrome, which is similar to Down syndrome. And we had an idea. We lived in Northern Virginia on 3 acres, and we had an idea in our mind to own a dog kennel. My husband was Fairfax County Police up in Northern Virginia, and he worked with the dogs with the police department. And so we thought, he loved dogs, she loved dogs. We thought, wouldn't this be cute? She could have a little 3-run dog kennel, and then she could have a safe place to work, because we knew that she would be working with us or living with us for the rest of her life. And so that's how this whole thing kind of started, this Given Wings thing. It didn't have a name then. It just had an idea of a little 3-run dog kennel. Well, man, it grew. We actually, well, I should tell you, Given Wings exists to provide a safe haven to the intellectually disabled and hope to less fortunate, so they can fulfill their life purpose. As you can see, we have one that is intellectually disabled. We have others that have experienced things. Elijah's had a rough year. These 2 are adopted through social services. And so now, as we look at Given Wings, we realize, man, it's way bigger than we ever anticipated. We thought we were going to give this little girl a safe place to live, and now who knows what's in store as long as we're obedient. Oh, this is a video. Sorry. There we go. Can y'all hear this?
What is your passion?
This is our property down
We
inside.
believe that every single person was put on this earth for a specific reason. And T.D. Jakes says it best when he says, if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion. For your passion will lead you right into your purpose. And little did we know, we were about to
I did get my hair cut.
that would radically change our life.
In 2013 and 2014, we committed to give 43% of our income to our local church. And we read a book called Living the Dream that challenged us to figure out our purpose. Our vision was to have a 3-run dog kennel so that we could employ our daughter, Andy. And at the same time, we were watching her benefit from equine therapy. And we had adopted our 2 youngest children, Chesney and Sadie, through social services.
These gifts ignited our passion for the intellectually disabled and for the underprivileged. And what we know is obedience brings blessing. And in 2013, we had just started a business that radically changed our lives.
What was a 20-year dream became a 3-year reality. This past year, we opened a 30-run dog kennel. But more importantly, our dream of impacting the intellectually disabled and underprivileged kids became a reality.
This year, we are launching Give Them Wings, our nonprofit that will fuel our passion. We now can employ not just Andy at Pet Commander Kennels, but we can employ special needs people from all over our community.
We're partnering with the local foster parent association and school districts to meet the needs of underprivileged kids. We're constructing an amphitheater to have worship nights and host our community.
We have plans for our horse stables so that we can provide therapeutic riding to individuals like Andy and to people from all walks of life who could benefit from it. We have seen the blessings that come with obedience, and we are trusting that the best is yet to come.
Defend the weak and the fatherless, uphold the cause of the oppressed. I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these, you did it to me.
So there is our little three-run dog kennel that we had decided that we would build. It is a 30-run dog kennel. And the best part is that it doesn't just employ Andy, our 12-year-old, which it does. She comes in, she has a little time clock. I don't have to pay her yet, but she clocks in and she clocks out. But it employs 5 other intellectually disabled or special needs individuals. My husband is a professional bird dog trainer. He's actually in South Texas right now. He leads bird dog hunts for the King Ranch family. If you're familiar with the Ford King Ranch truck, he's down there. But he says all the time, it's hard to be mad when the dog's not performing when you walk in and our Angie and Patty, 47 and 55, are looking back at you, smiling from ear to ear, saying, good morning. So we are so thankful for this place. As you heard from our video, we actually already have plans to build a horse stable similar to this, the look of this, a 20-stall horse stable, because we want to provide therapy, equine therapy. Currently, we have an individual that is helping to manage the kennel, and she, over the next year, will become PATH certified and EGALA certified. PATH is physical therapy with horses, and EGALA is emotional therapy with horses. We also have an amphitheater, so we have different functions. If anybody down that way ever needs something like that, we have an outdoor amphitheater that we've built. Our most exciting thing that we're building right now on the kennel is our Give Them Wings home. Last year, my husband went down to the Four Sixes Ranch to guide bird dog hunts for the owners. And he felt like, he came home and he said, you know what, I feel like we're supposed to build a cowboy house on the property. And just to be completely transparent, when he said that to me, I thought, oh my gosh, how hard can I work? I'm trying to work this business and grow it so that we can grow things, but I'm like, I'm tired. And about a little while after that, he came back and he said, I think we're supposed to have a home for the intellectually disabled. I mentioned Angie and Patty. We interviewed them, and when we interviewed them, they brought their moms. Their moms are both 80 and 81, I think, respectively. And their mom started to cry, and they said, thank you for a safe place for our girls to work at Pet Commander Kennels, but our biggest fear is what happens to them after we're gone. So Jonathan had this vision of a cowboy house. Kelly, our executive director, had interviewed these 2 special needs employees that are working for us now. And then God finally broke down me, and I was reading in Matthew 1-4, and it was just talking about how he gives visions for what you're supposed to do next, and that's when I knew that we were supposed to build this next. So we have this home. It has 4 rooms, and then in the peak of it, it has a caretaker suite. We're currently getting everything finalized with DHEC, and we have the loan, and we'll move forward on this property. So we're super excited about that. Our dream, unless it changes, is we'd like to have a men's and then have a women's. But it doesn't never stop there, right? As long as you're obedient, then things continue to open up. And my husband, we have 106 acres where we live, and there's 10 acres that sits behind it, and it kind of sits funny. And the other day he said to me, he goes, you know what, I'm going to call Justin because I'd really like to buy that 10 acres back there. And I was like, oh my gosh, we don't need 10 more acres. And about 45 minutes later, he walked in and he said, I think we're supposed to build a safe home back there. And I thought, okay, okay. So man, I don't know. I wish I could tell you everything that I feel like Give Them Wings is going to do. Here's a picture of our drawing of Chase Equestrian, named after all of my kids. I have Chesney, Andy, Sadie, and Elijah. Oh, there's a picture of the Rustic Knot, the amphitheater. So definitely a lot of amazing things. Here's our web address. It's, if you ever want to look us up and see what's going on, it's jbwfarmssc.com. And it now actually, well, I guess that's what it looks. All of those links take you to the different websites, and you can kind of read our story and follow us. So bottom line, we don't know where we're headed or what we're going to build. I remember one time I spoke at an event in D.C. There was several hundred people in the room, and a girl came up to me afterwards and she said, Jody, on your farm, are you going to have a place where the intellectually disabled or your employees live? And I go, we are not doing that. And I walked away, and just as quickly as I said it, I felt like I was saying, hey, you don't know what we're doing? You just keep walking, I'll tell you what we're doing. And so I have no idea, where we're headed. We're excited about all that is to come, and we know that it's desperately, desperately needed in Lawrence County, in Greenville County, and so we're open. Anybody have any kind of, I know Kelsey came down and looked at it and saw it, and any kind of questions? Yeah.
Is this in Graveport?
It is in Graveport. It's just over, if you're familiar with Simpsonville, where the new Fairview Road, where the new Hobby Lobby is, we're about 4 miles from the Hobby Lobby. So we're out in the country, kind of feels, but we're just over the Greenville County line.
So if you went down Fairview Road, you would?
Yes, you would take a left on Fairview Church Road, and
Okay.
Fairview Church Road becomes Green Pond Road by Beulah Baptist Church down there. Any other kind of questions or anything?
So that would be the address.
Anybody
How
want-
does somebody get in touch with you about having folks come out?
I brought my card. Yeah, we do a ton of stuff. If you think of something, me and Paula, Kelly just had a group of elementary school kids. They came out and they sat down and read to all the dogs. So it was a part of their reading program. Yeah, so it was tons of fun. So we're real open to whatever we can do. Really want to impact the community. Last but not least, for all of you guys that I know are here and trying to impact the community, I went to Magnolia. Anybody heard of Chip and Joanna Gaines? I went to Magnolia in Waco and left there in tears because that is a family that has completely changed Waco, Texas. When I went there in 1988 to Baylor University, it was a very dark place. And Chip and Joanna's mom and dad moved, or Joanna's mom moved there when parents moved there in 1994. And everybody told them, don't move there, it's a dark place. And they knew that they were called to that city, and it is completely transformed. So just as an encouragement to all of us, we can absolutely, like Mike was saying, bond together and change a city. I absolutely believe it. So, and I'll pass out, I have cards down there.
I have one quick question for you.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking to hire any more individuals with disabilities? Like, do you have room for that, or is that something that you're going to do next year?
Yeah, we always have room for it. I mean, yeah, people are always changing. I'll pass the card.
I guess as long as they can find like transportation.
Yeah, and then, we work with the Lawrence County Disability Board, and they drop them off. So it just, if there was a way for them to be dropped off. We're also, we're doing all kinds of things. I have somebody in my business that is coming in. She's an English professor, and she's coming in and doing a writing camp, and she's doing it for all of our employees, special needs employees and everybody, just to help them learn how to handle things, how to provide therapy through writing. So she's doing a whole week-long camp. So there's all kinds. We're open.
What was the business that launched all this?
Rodan and Fields, which is skincare, anti-aging skincare by the same doctors that created Proactive.
Okay.
I called because I needed some anti-aging skincare, and 24 hours later joined a business that has changed our life.
Any other questions? All right, let's break again.
Thank you.